Alright, today we're going to be rating Magic the Gathering cards custom made on Reddit. Alright, and in the spirit of combining creatures and characters in Magic the Gathering, it appears we have Curd Ape and Loam Lion. For a white and a red, we got a 1/1. Curd Ape and Loam Lion gets +2, +4 as long as you... Oh, did they both need a forest? Green needs a forest, white needs a forest. Aha! Oh my goodness. Well, I think that's Zybers, if you ask me. Will it Zyber or it Danger? I think that's Zybers. Alright, that gets a pass from me. That's a good card. Well, I don't know if it's a good... It's not broken. That's in a tier of its own. It's not broken, so print it. We print or shredding some of these cards. Oh, we got the Orc Spy. So we got for a red 3 generic, a 3/3 morph, reveal your hand. That is very boring. That is a very boring card. So we can pay 3 mana to make it a 2/2. Oh, so it's effectively a 3/3 for 3 mana. Whatever. Moving on. Not a very hot card. Fee Collector. Blue, white, 1 generic, a 2/3 human advisor. If a player casts a spell with kicker, without paying its kicker cost, counter it. Oh, I get it. So if you just pay... If the card has kicker, but you don't actually kick it, it gets countered. The same is true for spells with Awaken, Bestow, Buyback, Casualty, Conspire, Cleave, Dash, Disturb, Emerge, Entwine, Escalate, Escape, Evoke, Flashback, Foretell, Fuse, Jumpstart, Madness, Miracle, Morph, Multi-Kicker, Mutate, Ninjutsu, Offering, Overload, Prototype, Prowl, Retrace, Replicate, Squad, Surge, and Unearth. But it's not going to include cards of the future. So this thing is annoying. This is a very annoying card to read. And you might be wondering, alright, does my card qualify? Let me read this entire novel. You know, yeah, it's word soup. When the text box fills up, I'm not a happy customer. Of course, that is just the base cost, of course. I get the idea. I get the idea. It's like if the card has some sort of extra ability with a cost upon cast, counter it. Unless... Okay, if the card has an alternate casting cost, counter it if that alternate casting cost wasn't used or some nonsense like this. Alright, we got Valerio, who loves the custom card. Apprentice Naturalist. So if you super chat... and you give me the title of your post on Custom Magic, we'll show it to everybody. So the title of this post is apparently Apprentice Naturalist. El Natural, you say. See, I can find it and share it with everyone. What do we got here? Alright, we got a blue-green 1/1 Scout Shapeshifter. So for 1 green-blue, this card assimilates a green or blue creature with mana value 2 or less. What does that mean? Okay, to assimilate... Is this that keyword you tried to make last time? To assimilate a card, attach it from your library to this card, then shuffle. What does that mean? To assimilate a card, attach it from your Why is it from your library? This card gains its abilities while attached. Shuffle other cards attached to this card with this ability into your library. I still don't understand this card. What are you trying to do, Valerio? What are you trying to do? It makes no sense. Always looking for new species to be discovered and new lifestyles to be contemplated. She's a quick learner. Is she going to be a good teacher? What does any of this mean? Fixed. I don't think it's fixed at all. What's the end result supposed to be? To assimilate, attach it from your So why do we even know this is in your library? Is what I'm getting at. Okay, if you attach a Lotus Cobra, it has the abilities of Lotus Cobra. But why do you say attach it from your library to this card? That's the part that doesn't make sense. If you attach a Lotus Cobra, it has the ability... I get that. But why is it saying from library to card? I think saying to search your library for a card and the creature gains the abilities of the card. Maybe? It's still not worded properly. It makes no sense why you attach anything from your library to the card, so it's still worded poorly. It's a fail. Make no sense whatsoever. Moving on. We got Dr. Django with the super chat. I would 100% probably be unplayable, but hey, it sounds fun. The AA card came out weird. Is that the name of the title? Would 100% probably be unplayable, but hey, it sounds fun. Alright, that was the name of the title. Toxic Shadow. So we got for a green XX with Infect, Toxic Shadow gets +X, where X is the number of poison counters on you. Oh, interesting. So it's like, that's a huge flavor win. It's like, what's it called? It's like as you get more sick, you get stronger and make other people more sick. It's like it accumulates sickness. Well, we got Rage Kitty from Assimilate. Search your library for a creature card and exile it. Apprentice Naturalist gets the ability of the exiled card. Shuffle any. Oh, are you trying to fix the other card? That actually makes some sense. That actually makes some sense if worded like that. But I have no idea if that's what Valerio was trying to do. The card sucks, but it is interesting. It is a huge flavor win, so I think it's Zybers with me. It is probably unplayable, or very hard to use. You know, it probably would work in draft, because there's probably a lot of toxic going on, so like, you know, it's like Death, it's Death Shadow, right? But for poison. So as you get more poison, you can slam this thing for 1 mana, and then like re-poison your opponents. Yeah, it's Infect Death Shadow. It's a really cool card, actually. I think it's really neat. Next up, we got Approaching Calamity. Omnath Depleted 2.0. Oh, God. Omnath Depleted 2.0. What is this going to be? Oh, instead of having a bunch of colors, it has no colors. Like, can I get this is good enough? Okay, this is good enough. Okay, for colorless, we have a 3/3 elemental. So this can be played in any deck, right? Because in Commander, you have the entire color identity. Or how does it work? Does it need, if it has all these colors in the cast, like in the text box, does that mean you have like a 5-color Wooburg deck? Okay, you may pay Wooburg rather than pay Omnath's depleted mana cost. Okay, that's fair. At the beginning of your upkeep and whenever you tap a land, add a depletion counter to Omnath depleted. Then if Omnath has 15 or more depletion counters, sacrifice it. If Omnath is sacrificed this way, you cannot cast another card with the same name this turn. Oh no, not this turn. Whenever an opponent taps a land to add mana, they add colorless instead. Whoa! Whoa! Whenever you tap a land for mana, you may add an additional... Whoa, you got more mana? What the hell is going on here? Like, you could just... Any colorless deck could play this, and it's like a Blood Moon. Whenever a player taps a land to add mana, they add... You just lock them out of all their colors. It's worse than Blood Moon. Or, I mean, it's more dangerous than Blood Moon. This is ridiculous. This is very broken. Oh, it danger big time. Okay, at the beginning of your upkeep, whenever you tap a land, add a depletion count. That doesn't make any sense. So only at the beginning of your upkeep, if you tap lands for mana, it has depletion counters, but it doesn't count for any other way. Yeah, you're not accumulating them anyway. Anyway, okay. This is ridiculously broken. Broken as hell. All right, let's get back to the free form area. All right, we got Graduation Exam. We got a hybrid Simic X, like star snake fractal with Sunburst. Enters the battlefield with a charge counter on it for each color of mana spent to cast it. How the hell do you spend more than 1 mana to cast it, though? If a card enters the battlefield with exactly 5 charge counters, you win the game. This card's power and toughness is each equal to the number of charge counters it has. That's interesting. So the deal is, you gotta try to tax your own creatures so that it's like 5 mana, and then spend 1 of each mana, and then you win the game. Because otherwise, you can't spend more than 1 mana to cast a 1 mana spell. It said upkeep, and when you tap a land. The beginning of your upkeep and whenever you tap a land. Oh, okay, I got it. So it will go away eventually. Okay, so there it is a little bit more fair than I first read. I just thought it was at the beginning of your upkeep. So you have to add 1 for every turn. All right, it's more fair. It's more fair than recognized. Thank you very much for clearing that up. All right, yes, this is just like some sort of card that you try to... It's a build-around card. Try to tax all your creatures and then cast this thing for Wooburg. It's Zyber. It's fine. All right, next we got Valerio is back with a new idea. Regan Ridley. Hopefully it does not have assimilate. The World Conspirer. Okay, we got Regan Ridley. Hopefully that's good enough. The World Conspirer fixed. Oh, it is it? Alright, we got black, blue, 2 generic for a 2/2 human scientist. Artifacts you control have hexproof. When an opponent casts a spell, you may tap artifacts you control with total mana value equal or greater than that spell's, counter and shuffle it into the library. Then search that player's library for a card with equal mana value. Then shuffle. He or she casts it without paying its mana cost. You can't fail to find. This is, again, like a word. Okay, at least I know what you're trying to do here. And it's gonna pass. However, it's like, it's another word soup. There's gotta be a, like... I'm sure you could just say, like... Target spell on the stack gets shuffled back into its owner's library. You search that player's library for a card of equal mana cost or less. And you can't say you can't fail to find. You can fail to find. Because there could be, like, nothing... Oh, I guess you can't fail to find because you could at least recast the same card over and over again. At least one more time. Alright, anyway, I'll let that one slide. It's a little awkward. Yeah, Wall of Text has Defender always, remember. Just say negate. You casting Lotus Cobra? No, I'll make you cast an Explorer instead. I think, do you control it? That player for a card of equal mana, then shuffle. He or she casts it without paying its mana cost. Oh, no, yeah, okay, so you're forcing someone else to cast another spell. Interesting. Neat. So is today Wall of Text Day? It basically is, you know, the custom cards. People love throwing down big walls of text for the custom cards. We've got Starfruit Gaming with Light Grenade. Which one? I guess the one from 2 days ago. Alright, we got Light Grenade. It's very expensive for a grenade. So we've got, it's Selesnya White, 3 generic for an artifact. Creatures must attack you if able. Well, that's not good. Whenever a creature attacks you, exile it. Its controller makes a treasure token. This doesn't feel like a very flavor win. But I don't know how this is supposed to be like a light grenade. Maybe I don't know what a light grenade is. Oh, it's a flash grenade? Is that what this is supposed to be? A flash grenade? Like you throw the grenade on the ground and poof, like it turns white and it blinds you? I think that's what it's supposed to be. That's just stupid, says Dick Nelson. Whenever a creature attacks you, exile it. Its controller makes a treasure token. In some ways, I think this is broken. Look up the light grenade scene from Mom and Dad Save the World. Oh, this is hilarious. It's from Mom and Dad Save the World. I have no idea what this is in reference to. You did not read the flavor text of Regan. I'm sad. I did. Well, of what? You had some flavor text here? Okay, the flavor text was, this is just some work stuff. My job is secret stuff, and if I told you, you'd have to die. Alright, I said the flavor text. Anyway. It's 5 mana. The players get tokens. I guess this is okay. Like, it's not like it's 2 mana or anything. It's not like it's, Whenever a creature attacks you, exile it. It seems broken, though. They must attack you if able. It'd be okay if it was when the creature deals combat damage to you. Well, then you just don't block. Oh, no, but you'd still take down. Whoa, 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 whoa! That's the wrong song. Don't worry, people. Don't get excited. It's not over. People must have been like, "Oh my god, it's over already." It's not over. Okay, I think this card is a pass. I think it's a pass. I could be dead wrong though. Maybe this is just ridiculously stupid broken, but I'm gonna make it pass. All right, we're gonna look at more custom cards because there's plenty of them. But before we do, we're going to thank our sponsors, FusionGamingOnline.com. If you need anything from March of the Machines, they're coming out in full droves. I saw a ton of cards from March of the Machines in the Pioneer event. And if you need those Pioneer cards, you go shop at FusionGamingOnline.com. Don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu, though, at checkout for 5% off all your purchases. You can purchase any cards. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. You like to make custom cards? Maybe you like making custom decks. And the deal is, when you're renting from Mana Traders, you can make anything you want. If you don't like it, you send it back and make something new. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_3RS. And back to the beautiful custom Magic cards. Oops. There we go. Alright, we got, just Nature's Claim. Yeah, it's as simple as that. It's a strictly better No Mercy? I guess so. Thanks for highlighting the light grenade. I still think it's a flash grenade. Or maybe it's a reference I don't get. That's okay. Alright, what do we got next? We got Whale. We got Whale of Darkness with G-Cree Trickster Mastermind. We got G-Cree Trickster. That's good enough. The Mastermind. Okay, we got for a Rakdos and a blue. It's a 2/1 Fairy Rogue. Oh! I'm all ears. I love fairies. Fairies are very underpowered. They need help. They need more cards at 1 and 2 mana. They just got one through the current world champion, but they need more. So we got a Fairy Rogue, Flying Flash, Haste. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, each other player copies that spell. Well, maybe you're never going to play instant or sorcery spells. You're just going to be playing fairies and rogues. Why does it need haste, though? Whenever a spell or copy is countered, its controller loses 1 life. How is this going to work? Tap, counter any number of spells you control, and any number of copies on the stack? What the hell? So how is this supposed to work? Broken with Pact. Oh, is that supposed to be what it's supposed to be? So the idea is whenever you cast an instant, so we play Summoner's Pact, or some sort of Black Pact, people get a copy of it. Whenever a spell or copy is countered, its controller loses 1 life. And we can tap and counter any number of spells you control, any number of copies on the stack. So we basically cast pacts and make our opponent lose. If you play, you lose the game, instant or sorcery, do the other player's copies go on the stack and make them lose the game? Yes. Wait, also, while they're all on the stack, you can use G-Cree Trickster Mastermind to just counter your pacts. Or you'll lose the game cards. Anyway, this is ridiculously broken. No, it danger. It danger. We already found out how to broke it. It's a simple 2-card combo. It could be your commander. Wow, it's super danger. Anyway, thanks for sharing, though. We got Fry with the super chat. Karn complete. What the hell is this gonna be? Complete. Can Karn get completed? Isn't he a machine? Alright, Karn complete. Sounds like some sort of daily vitamin mineral source or whatever. Alright, we got a Phyrexian, colorless Phyrexian. That's unique, that's different. 4 generic for a 5 loyalty Karn. So you can pay the completed thing. If the life was paid, it enters with 2 less counters, no problem. +2, put a shield counter on up to 1 target artifact or Phyrexian creature you control. That's cool. -5, destroy all artifacts and creatures. Return all artifacts and creature cards from all graveyards to the battlefield under your control. Oh, sorry. I was reading as that was all in one shot. Okay, so -5 is just destroy all artifacts and creatures, and then -13, return all artifacts and creature cards from graveyards to the battlefield under your control. Creatures that enter the battlefield this way become Phyrexians in addition to their other types. Honestly, I think you could have that at a lower loyalty. Not kidding. I think what it could have been at like maybe 9 or 10. That actually did not have to be so expensive. Totally fair card. Super fair. This card is awful. It should start with 8 loyalty. Well, no, I think it's pretty fair. Like, it could start at 3, and you go to +2, and then you can -5 the next turn. You could also put a shield counter on something. So you can, for 4 mana, it's fair, is what I'm going to put at. It's fair. We could print this damn thing. Pretty good-looking Karn. A what if, sort of. Yeah, what if. He looks so menacing. Mycosynth Lattice and... Yeah, I mean, destroy... I mean, you could Mycosynth Lattice, and then just go -5 and blow everything up. It all goes to the graveyard. What's a shield counter? If something would be destroyed... It's like a regeneration counter. It's like if something would be destroyed, you... or is it targeted or destroyed? Maybe it's when... If it's ever targeted by anything, you remove the shield counter and you counter the spell, or it doesn't matter. I loosely understand what a shield counter is. Alright, cool card. Probably, you know, probably could have pushed it a little bit further. We got Gabrielle here with the super chat. Kazikli Bay. Kazikli. Willet Bay. We got a Mardu card here. Okay, Mardu. So for black, white, red, it's an instant. Deals 2 damage to each attacking creature. For each creature that dies this way, their controller's non-attacking creatures get -1/-1 until end of turn. That's totally fair to me. 100 million%. Is this like a way of killing the big goblin or something? There's like the big goblin that's sitting behind doing nothing, but all the little goblins go in. So you kill all the little goblins, but you can never kill the big goblin sitting there, sitting pretty. Like, I don't know, Krenko or something. And so you can kill it as well. There's always that creature sitting back, being the big problem. If it would be destroyed, it would take damage, remove shield counters instead. Oh, okay, I see, okay. Gotcha. That's how the shield counter works. Yeah, mad goblin hate. Somebody lost to the goblin deck too many times. Or maybe even a goblin, or even an elves deck. Karn loses 2 loyalty for every 2 life paid the way it's written. Oh, then it's even more fair. Too fair. Yeah, the Mana Dork Destroyer. They'll wipe the board. This is like a weird... Okay, so I fear no man, but a devil is a different manner. Mehmed 2 about Vlad III, the Impaler. This is like a pretty convoluted sweeper. But I mean, in my opinion, it's completely fair. There's nothing wrong with hating on elves. As if the elves haven't been hated enough in this world. Is that all the super chats for now? Alright, we go back to the main board. Alright, we go next to the Sudoku Savant. Sudoku? Sudoku. It's what I think it is, right? The puzzle. Alright, so we got the Savant here. The guy who can, like, solve the Sudoku in a second. Alright, so we got a red-blue human advisor. That's a 1/3. Pretty cool picture, I think, for Sudoku Advisor. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control exactly 9 creatures, each with different powers, oh my god, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, you win the game. And then you can pay a blue, you gotta pay a hybrid of Is It, switch the power and toughness of target creature until end of turn. Oh my god! Is the guy smoking? Yes, they got cigarettes in the multiverse. Actually, we don't know what they're smoking. It's indistinguishable. They're smoking something. Anyway, this is Zybers for sure. This is a very fair ult win condition. Love it. Yeah, and so like you could have a bunch of different creatures with different powers or toughnesses, really, and then at the right moment, boom, you pay the activated ability and switch it all. It's all been completed. It's all about shuffling things around. We got Robert here with the super chat. Stella Ankle Ripper. Hold on, before we get into that, we'll just look. This is so fun and janky. It's perfect. I like it, says Approaching Calamity. That's definitely a joint, says King Ginger knows. I'm not, you know what? I will just take to your expertise. I wouldn't know anything about this. I think it'd be absolutely fine if it triggers at end step. Whatever. How hard is it to activate this? I think it's pretty difficult. All right, back to the Robert. What do you got for us, Robert? Stella Ankle Ripper. That is a very bizarre name. A very particularly precise name. The Ankle Ripper. Who's ripping ankle? Oh! We got a little doggy here. Maybe gnawing on those ankles. Okay, now a lot of things are making a lot of sense really fast. So for Jund, green, red, black, we got a 1/1 dog. It's a legendary dog. There's no other Stella Ankle Rippers. Dumpster diving. Oh my goodness, I love it. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose a kind of counter at random that Stella doesn't have on her from among flying, first strike, death touch, hexproof, lifelink, menace, reach, trample, vigilance, and +1/+1. Put a counter of that kind on Stella. That is not. I thought we would like go into the graveyard or something, and like, I don't know, eat the damn thing. Like it would. Like, once every turn, you get to go eat a creature from the graveyard and then put a +1/+1 counter on it or something like that. Whatever. Okay, psychological manipulation. Whenever counter that isn't a +1/+1 counter is put on Stella, put a +1/+1 counter on Stella. So you like to get to buff it at the same time. Totally fair card. Like, it's quite a while at the beginning of combat on your turn. Yeah, so like, it's gonna get a little bit bigger every single turn, but nothing ridiculous. Anyway, neat card. No, a real life picture. They completely decimate with a MTG card. That's fine. Will you accept entries that are rendered but lack art? Oh yeah, I don't care. I actually have no rules with this. You just if your post is on custom Magic, and you can give me the title of the post, that's all I care about. I really don't care. Print that Doge or Doge. How do you guys pronounce it? Doge or Doge? I actually prefer Doge. All right, moving on. What we got here? We got the Whale of Darkness. Whale of Darkness is back. Hopefully less broken. Nenishti. Walker of the Void. Nenishti. This is not it. Walker of the Void. Or is it too new? Oh, okay. For some reason, if I put up the full thing, they can find it. Okay, that's okay. It's all good. Fixed. Nenishti Walker. How do we see this thing? Why isn't it framed properly? There we go. Good enough. We got Nenishti Walker of the Void. Black, blue, 1 generic for a 1/3 human warlock. Flash and Shadow. Ooh, interesting. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, target creature phases out. Oh, very interesting. But why does it need that? Because, okay, so you attack, the creature phases out. Oh, I guess if it... Okay, when it enters the battlefield, that's probably where it's best. But attacking makes... I guess it helps the creatures that don't have Shadow. Because the thing is, it has Shadow. So it's not like it needs to remove a blocker for crying out loud. And whenever a creature with Shadow phases in, put 2 -1/-1 counters on it, and its controller loses 2 life. What? Whenever a creature without Shadow... Oh! Interesting. Very interesting card. Is this broken? Probably not, but like this thing perpetually kills stuff. Like basically if you have... It's basically like attack, deal 2 damage to a creature. Is that broken? Can remove the only other shadow blocker. I mean, yeah, that's possible. If you got Shadow, Dothy Voidwalker, get out of my way. It's kind of broken because of the hexproof counter, but oh, you mean you're talking about the dog. Come on, there's nothing wrong with the dog. The dog is fine. I like it. F yo commander. I don't get it. I don't know, what do you guys think? Not broken, but this would at least be standard playable. I think this is a lot stronger than you guys realize. Like in a control deck, like even Esper, I think this would be pretty good. Because you can just flash this in and play. And anything that's small just dies, effectively. So like if you attack, I don't think you guys realize how good this thing is in combat. You flash it in play, something phases out, it's probably gonna die. Okay, you can't block, I guess, with this guy because it has shadow. That phasing thing is insane, though. And you will kill that creature eventually. It, like, phases back in next turn. You give it... It gets -2/-2 counters, and then you put another -2/-2 counters on it. Is phasing in actually an action that can trigger something? I don't know. I don't know the rules! Okay, Valerio says, well, let's print it. Alright. I'm in a good mood today. Let's print the damn thing. Pair this with Thassa's Deep Dwelling. Ooh, yeah, just blink. This is a blinker. You blink the hell out of this. That's good value. Alright, we got Valerio's back again. Luz Nocida. Alright, we got Luz Nocida. She's back and hopefully balanced. Alright, let's see. You are not good at balancing cards, but your creativity is unbound. Alright, we have blue, we have like Omnath colors here. For Omnath casting, we have Luz Nocida, the Owl Apprentice, a 2/2 human witch. Tap to add 1 mana of any color. I love how for 4 mana, we have a 2/2 mana dork. I don't exactly see the relevance in that, but whatever. Whenever you cast a non-black spell, create an XX glyph creature token of the colors of that spell. Okay, where X is its mana value. You mean where its power and toughness are each equal to... Oh no, create an XX glyph token of the colors of that spell, where X is its... Okay, so its mana value is the power and toughness. You're trying very hard to explain to explain a regular magic card. Alright, it has exile this tapped creature at the end of the current phase. And haste if it's red, trample if it's green, flying if it's white, and reach if it's blue. So it has exile this tapped creature. Oh, okay. So once it's tapped, then it goes away. Interesting. All right, good enough. It will pass. I don't know if it'll pass an English exam, but I think the card will pass. So if I understand correctly, you cast the spell, you're going to get a XX creature equal to its mana value, and then the color of the creature will be based on the color of the spells, and then if it's tapped, it will die at end of turn. I was nobody back home, but becoming a witch is my chance to be someone. And someone it is today. Yeah, word salad to death. I win. Any action specified on a card can trigger an ability. The trigger will likely go on the stack during the upkeep, just like untapping triggering stuff. I have no idea what on earth that was in response to, but okay. What do we got next? We got Gabrielle. Preserve and Avenge. Thank you very much for the super chat. Preserve and Revenge. Oh, sorry, Avenge. No, I found it anyway. Oh, it's a 2-sided card. All right. Preserve and Avenge. We've got white, 2 generic. Permanents you control get indestructible until end of turn. Prevent all damage that would be dealt this turn to you or permanents you control. And then we have Avenge for red, 4 generic sorcery. Creatures target player controls deal damage equal to their power to you. Hold on, to you and their controller? Permanents you control gain indestructible until end of turn. It doesn't have... It should have fuse or something so you can cast both sides of it at once. Make yourself indestructible. Well, permanents you control gain indestructible. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to you. This is super fair. This is super fair. I don't see how this is broken whatsoever. Liquid Soulfly likes it too. Chris Maddox says, sorry I'm late. I'm here now. All right, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I don't think it needs to deal damage to the caster at 6 mana. I don't think so either. But you know what you could do? You could fuse these cards. I think that would work. And then if you have 10 mana, then you get to make all your stuff indestructible, prevent all damage to you, and then you can have the Avenge part at the same time. Well, I don't know how that would work. Maybe this should be instant as well. Creatures target player controls deals damage equal to their power to you. Yeah, for 6 mana, I should just deal it to them. Use a pry effect with Avenge. Ah, maybe that's the idea. You want to try to deal double the damage. Deal double the damage with a pry effect. Preserve should be white, white, 1 generic, and 3 red, black, and it should have fuse. Then it's okay and neat. It's a pretty expensive card. It is a pretty expensive card. I think it's meant to have fusion or something, because the second effect would be useless. Yeah, well, it would combo together very well. Anyway, I think it's a good card. Could have been better. There was a glyph token at the right, and you skip. Well, I didn't know. Was there a glyph token? Oh, I don't show too many cards. Yeah, it's equal to the. Oh, well, we don't need to see the token. The token is unnecessary. All right, do we have? No, we're going back to the main page. Back to the main page. All right. Slumming it up with these really unique free cards. SantaCon. Sounds like some sort of a convention where everyone dresses up as, like, I don't know, Miss Santa Claus, Mrs. Claus, a reindeer. That's what you cosplay at the SantaCon. All right, what actually happens at SantaCon? White, red, 1 generic. Create an chapter 1. Create an X, 1/1 red and white Santa creature tokens, where X is the number of Santas you control plus the number of lore counters on SantaCon. What the hell? What does this have to do with Santa? It's the annual meeting. It's the annual meeting of the Santas. We all know one Santa can't get around the whole world at the same time. There needs to be 1 Santa per province, per state. I don't get this card though. And there's 3 chapters. Create X, 1/1 red and white Santa creature tokens, where X is the number of Santas you control plus the number of lore counters. This is such a flavor fail. This has nothing to do with Santa at all. Yeah, SantaCon artists is more like it. So what does chapter do? It's all the same. It's all under 1 chapter. So basically, chapter 1 and 2 are this, and 3 are all the same. Yeah, they all do the same thing. The Santa Illuminati. Ship for the picture. I mean, a lot of small Santas. Yeah, that's right. It's that time of the year where the malls look for people with white beards and bellies. All right, scale. Oh, I'm interested in the scale of progenitus. How did it fall off? Was it shedding? For 1 generic, it's 1 generic artifact. Protection from everything. Oh, that's cool. I have no idea how you make use out of this, but that's a flavor win. I needed that. I needed that flavor win after that flavor fail with the Santas. Massive flavor fail with the Santas. It reflects all that it contains. I have no idea how to make use of this, though. Protection from everything. I guess you could animate it. You could turn it into a 1/1. So you could animate it into a creature as protection from everything and start going to town against your opponent. Custom cards got into Magic's special AI drugs. If you ask me, a lot of these cards are AI cards. Old Yarnam's Fall. We got us green, red, 1 generic saga. Chapter 1. Old Yarnam's Fall gains creatures you control have haste and attack each combat if able. Chapter 2. Until end of turn, creatures you control enter the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter. And Chapter 3. Old Yarnam's Fall deals 3 damage to each creature and each player. Oh, so it's like a sweeper at the end. I don't understand this card. Creatures you control have haste and attack each turn if each combat if able. Is that even useful? Like, by the time I play this, my stuff have haste anyway. Like, my creatures can attack anyway if I'm playing this by turn 3. And then by the next turn, they won't have haste. So it's like, the Chapter 1 is useless, in my opinion. Chapter 2 is, like, okay. Creatures you control enter the battlefield. That's, like, sort of fine. Chapter 3 is a bit weird. I don't get this card. What is it I don't know what it's trying to do. And I don't even know what the flavor is. Old Yarnam's Fall. What, did he fall on the ground and hit people on the way down? It's all flavor? Who's Yarnam? Oh yeah, we gotta look this up. Yarnam. Aha! Some game I don't know. From Bloodborne. Bloodborne Wiki. I cannot relate. I have no idea what this is all about. It is technically fair, but it's sort of a... I would just say this is a crappy card. It's sort of a... I just think it's just a bad card. It's bad design, but it's fair, so... It doesn't Zyber, but we're not shredding it. We're going to print it. Nyxborn Serpent, a green, 1 generic 2/2 elemental snake with cumulative upkeep of 2. Well, that's not going to stay on the board for very long. If you tap a permanent for mana, oh, so like Llanowar Elves, it produces twice as much of that mana instead. Why does it need to come from mana, like a permanent, whenever you tap a permanent for mana? I guess maybe there's some stuff that you don't tap. Can you make your voice more gruff as you say, Yarman? So you sound like an actual Is it a pirate? Yar, matey. Don't be touching me, plunder. We bury our treasure for fun. Do pirates ever really do that? What's the point of burying the treasure? You can forget where the hell it is. We're gonna bury our treasure and we're gonna make maps for everything. Okay, is this broken? Because you can pay this for like 2 mana, and maybe you have to pay the upkeep. I mean, it's easy to pay the upkeep. You just pay 1 mana of anything. So the cumulative upkeep is effectively 1, but you get like a ton of mana for forever. Not for forever. Like every single turn, you get a lot of mana. Cumulative upkeep. Why are they bringing cumulative upkeep back? Man, that snake gonna be regenerating some mana. Pirates aren't squirrels. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they acting like squirrels. Now that I think about it. Cumulative upkeep equals fair. Ship it. I think that... Okay, Nyxborn Serpent and Nyxplume Ancient would be crazy. Mana combos. Let's go. This can be broken pretty easily. How do you break it? I think it's danger. I think it looks danger. Legends say that it will bite you twice. The first brings you luck. The second, despair. Okay, for flavor text, I'll give it a pass. But I have no idea if this is a fair card. This could be very, very dangerous. Very early on the board. Yeah, you just make some insane amounts of mana with this thing. Whatever. It's like a more dangerous Lotus Cobra. Gabrielle! Iskandar! We're looking up Iskandar, King of Conquerors. The king has arrived. Conquerors. Whoops. This is good enough. It is. What can I say? I like having your opinion on my creations, and you deserve the money for all that content. Ah, thank you very much, Gabrielle. I keep shipping it this way, and I'll keep looking at your cards. Oh my god. You know, okay, so first off, if you have this much text here, you gotta give up the flavor text. You know, it's just the way of things. If you want this big of an ability. Because if I need a jeweler's loop, where's my jeweler's loop? Or a magnifying glass to read the card. I gotta pull out my jeweler's loop here in order to read this thing. Okay, we got Trample. It's a 4/4 Trampler for 6 mana. Red, white, 4 generic. It's Human Noble. Whenever Iskandar, King of Conquerors, attacks, you may pay X. If you do, for each soldier or warrior creatures in your graveyard whose converted mana cost is X or less, create a tap and attacking creature token. There's a copy of that creature, except it's a spirit in addition to its other types, and it has exile this creature at end of combat. Shouldn't you also be exiling the creature from the graveyard? Sorry for the wall. Couldn't reduce it. You could reduce it if you get rid of the flavor text. That's what I'm saying. Can't have both. Behold my peerless armies. Their bodies have been destroyed. Their soul offered to the world as heroic spirits, and still these legendary heroes pledge their loyalty to me. Iskandar, King of Conquerors. I think it's fair. I think it's fair. I think it would definitely be fair if you exile the creatures from the graveyard. If you do, for each soldier and warrior, I would think for each soldier and warrior that you try to copy, make a copy of, you exile it. And I think also it'd be fair if you, I think it'd be fair if you just keep the spirits on the battlefield. Or maybe this is just better. So you like bring the spirit to the battlefield, then you lose it at end of turn. Like, sorry, not end of turn, at end of combat. And then you can redo it over and over again. Okay, you know what? This is a flavor win. I like it. It's a cool card. I love this. Play it in a star butterfly deck and the card you saw last episode. Okay. Yu-Gi-Oh text, baby! Yeah, we're not Yu-Gi-Oh players. Yu-Gi-Oh players with them magnifying glasses. Or if you don't need glasses before you play Yu-Gi-Oh, you will afterwards. Okay, we got fire! Diogenes the Beggar. We're gonna be begging here. Is it Diogenes or Diogenes? I don't know these cards. Alright, we got... Ooh, I love stuff that's heavy on one color. And this is heavy on white. White, 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 white. And a generic. For 3 loyalty, Diogenes. Creatures attacking you or planeswalkers you control get -1, -0. I love that static ability. That's very fair. So +2, you and target opponent each draw 2 cards. Holy moly! I guess that's fair. In Commander, that's going to be broken. Because you're just going to give somebody that... I guess you get... It's like a group hug in some way. But it also helps you a lot. -2, until your next turn, each creature loses all abilities and has base power and toughness 1/1. That is also ridiculous. -5, you get an emblem with your opponents can't win the game. Okay, that was... You know what? I'm even with the 2 broken first ones, I thought I could give this a pass anyway, but I don't think I could give that last one a pass because you can't get rid of the emblem. The emblem should have you can't lose the game as well, otherwise ship it. I don't think you can... I don't know if you can give yourself an emblem that does that. Like, so what? Like, after you get the emblem, the game's basically over. Your opponents can't win the game. Like, what's the point of playing after this? I don't know. Scrap that last ability, and I think I could print it. Outside of that, I can't do that. Is there any way for someone to win the game after you pull off that ultimate? And it's so easy to get. You just go +2 one turn and -5 the other turn, and it's over. I think there's some Gideon that does something similar. Yeah, but you can kill the Gideon, right? You can kill Gideon. And so long as, like, it has a plus on it. For as long as a Gideon's on the battlefield, your opponents can't win the game and you don't lose the game. But you can kill the Gideon and win the game. When you get this emblem, it's game over. You ain't gonna do nothing. Like, restarting the game could let you win. Oh, I guess that's the only way you can get rid of emblems. But that's really niche. How many people have Karn Liberated in their toolbox? You can force a draw? That's a bit lame, you know? Yeah, the emblem is stupid. If you have 0 life, you still lose. You get an emblem with your opponents can't win the game. Oh! Okay, so you can still die, is what you're trying to tell me, and then once you're gone, the emblem goes? Losing the game and winning the game are different. If they kill you, you still lose. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna say this passes then. I think this passes. What a bizarre card. So doesn't that make you a target? You get an emblem, your opponents can't win the game. Well, if they can't win the game, then they might as well start going after you. I can see this card instantly banned in EDH because it's basically trade secrets as a commander. Maybe. It's expensive though. It's 5 mana. I'm gonna give it a pass. I'm gonna give it a pass. All right. So yeah, there is a big difference. Your opponents can't win the game, but you can still lose the game. What a weirdly worded card. Sounds like a rulings nightmare. Sounds like people will get confused. Yeah, so win the game. Your opponents can't win. Yeah, so they can no longer use any I win the game immediately. Like, they can't use Thassa's Oracle, for example, to say they win the game. You don't win the game. You gotta beat me. You gotta beat me, and then you figure it out. Alright, so I'm gonna give it a pass. I sort of like these first 2 abilities are really powerful, but I like them. I think it's pretty cool. You should get a payoff for a quadruple white and 1 generic. Why would he draw cards if his whole life philosophy was to be against materialism? But no. Drawing cards is not about materials. It's about knowledge. That's what your library is. Your library is a book. That's why it's called the library. We are putting knowledge into our head, and that knowledge that knowledge turns into spells. So that knowledge could turn into building an artifact. It could also be turned into wrathing the board. So, you know, the +2 is not about getting stuff. It's not like, it's not physical stuff. It's all about knowledge. Yeah, drawing cards is knowledge. Knowledge! And Lamborghinis. All right, well, hold on. What do we got? We have more super chats to go. I don't want to get too far. Anyway, cool card. Really cool card. I'm gonna get a lot of flack in the comments section over it too. Tastefully Nerd. Grizzled Detective. Continuing the story of the Bear Witness. All right, we got a green 1 generic 2/2 Bear Advisor. When Grizzled Detective enters the battlefield, if mana from a treasure was spent to cast it, investigate. As long as you control a token, Grizzled Detective gets +0/+2. Activated abilities of clues you control cost 1 less to activate. Mana was spent from a treasure to cast it. Oh, that's interesting. That is really flavorful. So if we spend a treasure, we get to investigate. Or isn't it flavorful? I want to say it's flavorful. I really like this card. The nice fedora. Oh, there's some joke here. I just can't find it. Where a bear is a detective at the police station. Anyway, yeah, it's a pretty cool card. I like it. Definitely a pass. Super pass. I like the name, the Grizzled Detective. Bear with a hat, instant approval. Yeah, that's a very, very good looking bear. And a decent card. Can you use treasure to cast it? That's the whole idea. Enters the battlefield. If mana from a treasure was spent to cast it, you get to investigate. So you get like what is it, like a clue? Is that what it is? Get a clue, people! And activated abilities of clues you control cost 1 less to activate, so you can just pay 1 to get the clue token. Cool card. Very cool. All right, we'll go back to the main. Going back to main here. We got Gorgon Missionaries. Oh God. Hello, would you like to hear from the good book? We'd like to talk all about that snake that bit. Who was it? Adam or Eve? I don't know. I honestly don't know the lore from the Bible very well. Okay, white 1/4 Gorgon Elder. At the beginning of each upkeep, reveal a creature you own from outside the game. Well, first off, this is a pretty damn big creature for 1 mana. That is really big. At the beginning of each upkeep, reveal a creature card you own from outside. So we're just showing it to them. Here is our creature, and then we're just gonna put it back. The Mormons. Excuse me, have you heard of our Lord and Savior? He of the name... I don't know, what, there's 15 different creature cards? Somehow I feel like I know what they're going for, but I don't think it's executed properly here. The beginning of each... Like, maybe it should be something you reveal a card from your hand and put a stun counter on your opponent's creature or something, because, like, they're eating up your time. Would be more fair if it revealed a creature from your name. Isn't Gorgon Greek, though? I don't know. Gorgons in Magic the Gathering are like these snake creatures. I know, it's just a joke, but I think the execution's just not there. The flavor text leaves you hanging just like the text. I know, exactly. Anyway, probably this card might be broken at 1 mana for a 1/4 creature anyway. The ultimate blocker of Ragavan. Thunder Tether. Okay, Thunder Tether. It is an aura. Enchant land you control. Enchanted land has tap. Sack this land. It deals 3 damage to any target. Okay, you can do that. It seems very Very underwhelming. Enchanted creature, sorry, lightning dissipates, but the rumble remains embedded, waiting to be freed from its prison. Alright, we got Gorefang Rot Gut, the Gut Lord. Like eating, I guess. So we got a green, red, black, 1 generic 3/3 Orc Warrior. Whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it dies, create a 1/1 green goblin creature token. So when Gorefang Rot Gut, the Gut Lord, deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice a goblin. If you do, put a counter on each creature you control, so you can sack the creature you see. So you get infinite creatures, basically. Or for as long as you keep sacking the ones with counters, you get creatures. Then a black 1 generic, remove a counter from a creature you control. Target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn, so you can exchange the counters for killing stuff. And I ain't afraid of nothing. And if I am, I'll just send in the gobos first. Well said, Gorefang. Well said. Alright, what do we got next? We got Memnite, and Ornithopter. It's a 4/6 for 0 mana. Oh god. Tarmogoyf and Delver look like crap now. That's funny. Construct Thopter. I like the flavor text is a huge win. Tarmogoyf and Delver look like crap now. Okay, well. I mean, obviously this is unplayably broken, but this actually makes me laugh. I love this. Tarmogoyf and Delver look like crap. Alright, good stuff. Okay, the Dream Stealer. Black, 1 generic. If you made it this far to see the Memnite, and Ornithopter card, let everyone know in the comment section to keep watching till they see it, because this is like, this is the great climax of the show. Not everyone reaches the end of these videos. Not everyone reaches the end. Alright, the Dream Stealer. For a black 1 generic, we have a 1/2 zombie wizard, flash. If an opponent would begin an extra turn, they lose the game at the end of that turn. Oh, okay, so like no one take extra turn. Oh, and it's flash. So basically you flash this in play and super punish the person who took that extra turn. Gaze at the stars. When the night comes down again, then you begin to see through all your fears. That is such a feel-bad card. That is such a feel-bad card. I think it should cost more. I think it should cost more. Very narrow hate, it's fine. That thing makes you lose the game! For taking an extra turn? That's punishing. Oh my goodness. Hey, it's extra turn and hive mind. You win. Love it. Screw the extra turn players. It should be 3 or 4 mana value or something. I mean, it's super narrow. I guess it's fine. I guess this is gonna make someone think twice. Like, so long as the player with black mana has mana open, they'll be like, okay, I'm not gonna go for my extra turns around here. Custom Magic is making a card. A green Saga. A 1 and 2. This is going to end up as Dreadmaw. It's inevitable. Chapter 3. Create a 6/6 green dinosaur food creature token with trample. I have no idea what this is going on. I think they're making a custom Magic card right now, and they just assume it's going to be Dreadmaw in the end. Become Undone. We got a blue 2 generic sorcery. Return target non-land. This okay. First off, before I even get anywhere, everything is framed perfectly, and this looks like from far away, it looks like a Magic card. It's the first Magic card that looks exactly like a Magic card right now. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. It has cycling of 2 generic mana, and has madness for 2 mana. Fair. Fair card. It actually looks like a real card. Enriching Sands! The desert. Enriching... What? Did they change the name or something at the last second? They didn't proofread their own card. Enriching Sands. And then it says Enriching Winds enter the battlefield tapped. When Enriching Winds enters the battlefield, untap target land. It can tap to add a generic mana. So, okay, so it comes into play tap, but we can untap something else, like Guy's Cradle, for example, and get double the thing at the same time. Anyway, fail for proofreading. What about skipping turns with Time Vault so you can make it opponent lose with that on Dream Stealer? I have no idea. Untap your Tron land. I think it's more like untap Gaia's Cradle. Or untap Cabal coffers or something like that. I think the idea is there. They just didn't proofread their card. That's all. Very good in certain landfall decks. By the way, I want to ask you something. You said I'm not good at balancing cards, but you approved like 70% of the cards I presented you during these live streams. I'm pretty confused. No, the problem is you're not good at wording your cards. And balancing, I guess. I get what you're trying to say, and so long as it's playable, I'm gonna approve the card. Cool with fetching land. Does it? Enters the battlefield. When enriching lands enters the battlefield, untap target land. I don't think this works. Oh, untap Nykthos. Yep, that's right. Works with Nykthos. So the idea is there. I think it's a cool card, actually. I think it's a cool card. Just should have called it Enriching Winds. Or Enriching Sands in the text. Conquers Spoils. We got a black-white 1 generic sorcery. Target opponent discards 2 cards. Put each permanent card with mana value 2 or less discarded this way onto the battlefield under your control. That Zybers. That Zybers big time. I think that is cool. So you make them discard. So if they can discard their expensive cards, which is good for you, or they keep their expensive cards, discard the cheap cards, but then you get them. If they're permanents, that is. Pretty cool stuff. Big Zyber. I think it's also Big Zyber. All right, Conqueror Spoils passes here. Anyway, you heard the music. It means that we done for today. It's another day of custom Magic cards. It's another day of Coffee and MTG. If you want to be part of this show, you got to be here Monday to Friday, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. Thank you very much for all your support. Everyone who super chats, everyone who's a member of the channel, and anyone who's a patron on Patreon. And if you want to support the channel, you can find all that in the comment section, description below. But most importantly, thank you guys for being here this morning because, well, you guys, I wouldn't have any show. And I love everyone who likes to submit custom Magic cards. So thanks to Black Shadow, the Zweers, Zik. We got here with Moctezuma. Huge shout outs to, where is he? Valerio for submitting so many cards. William Lord Magicus. We got Radiant Realms. Thank you very much, everyone. So as usual, keep brewing up them coffees. And we'll keep bringing up the magic. Take care of yourselves. And I will see you at the next cup.